All right, we're recording. This is Josh Rackless, and I'm here with Brandi Wheeler in Ottawa, sitting in a park. It is May 8th, Saturday, 2021 in the afternoon, and we're getting this done before it starts raining. Oh, look, squirrel.
He's rocking around.
You know the expression where it's like, oh, squirrel, like a dog's, but literally there's a squirrel there. Oh, sorry, squirrel. He looked at me. He's like, no, I'm not talking about you. Well, I am talking about you.
I think he's looking for peanuts or something.
Oh, I should have brought peanuts. Oh my God, I'd love to make friends with squirrels.
There's some back there.
Oh yeah? What,
Yeah.
peanuts or squirrels?
Yeah. No, there's like peanuts on the ground. He was eating them earlier.
Oh, so I could pick them up and...
Probably just...
He's looking at me, he's like, I know you're talking about peanuts. No, we're just doing an interview. You can join the interview if you want, squirrel.
He's so cute.
Or just climb a tree. He's very friendly. There's a squirrel in the backyard. I look out at the backyard and it comes every morning and just sits on the bench and eats a peanut or something on the or not on the bench, on the shell, on the, what do you call it, the fence that I can see, and it's like almost like he's coming there to entertain me. It's very cute.
Probably just wants peanuts.
Probably.
Or
So maybe
food
I
or
should
something.
start. I want to be like Snow White and just start feeding all the animals and have them all love me.
Come to your house and...
Yeah, and then dress me for the ball or whatever. So, Brandi, we've been talking on Facebook, and she's an actress. She's like, interview me, make me famous. And I'm like, yes, that is what I do. So I finally walked over, and yeah, we're just having a casual chat. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I haven't interviewed anybody for a while. The last interview I did was with, I forget her name now. It was 6 weeks ago. It was a model in a bagel shop, and I haven't posted the interview yet because I'm behind on posting my video. So hopefully I'll get this up soon. But, so yes, what's your story? You said you were going to just, you'll tell me all about your career and all that.
Okay, so I've been pursuing acting for over 10 years. I've done background work. I was part of a company called A Company for a background. I've done some music videos. I'm on YouTube. I have a website. I was on YTV on this show called Zoinked.
Zoinked?
A very long time ago. I was about 21 back then.
Wow. So it was 8 years ago?
Something like that. I'm 29 now. So yeah, I was on Zoinked. Ooh, yeah, there's some music videos. I was in post-production of a movie I was making with a crew, but then that didn't work out. So we're back at square one for that. There's a TV thing coming up I'm going to be part of, and just try and get myself out there, you know?
Yeah.
It's very important.
A lot to unpack there. I want to mention that we're filming this, so if anybody's watching this or wants to watch this, it's on YouTube, and then I will take the audio and put it on my podcast. So, so people are going to hear this everywhere. You're going to be world famous.
That's awesome.
I looked at my stats on my podcast. Said I'm pretty big in Hungary for some reason. So,
Hungary, of all the countries, that's awesome.
yeah, and I think I got some views or listens in Vietnam, but that's mostly because I know a girl in Vietnam and I told her to listen. But whatever works, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and by the way, I don't know what the name of this show is. Right now on the podcast it's called Celebrity Josh, but I might change my name. One name I'm thinking of using is Live Truest. What do you think of that name?
I like that. It's
Yeah.
basically like living true to yourself.
Exactly, you get it. Okay, a lot of
Yeah.
people are like, I don't know what that means. I'm like, that's what it means. It's exactly what it means.
It's pretty straightforward.
And I thought, here's my idea, because like we say our names a lot, but normally the names don't have any value. If you say my name's John Smith, okay, that's not helping me to say that or hear it. But if your name is actually a saying that's inspirational, like Live Truest, every time I say it or type it, it's like, hey, it's my mantra. Or if I put it on my hat, it's like, oh, somebody knows my name, but also they're inspired to be their true self. So
That's really good. Everyone needs to follow their true self and follow their dreams. It's important.
all right. Well, okay. So Brandi agrees with me. She gets me. I knew there was a reason we were doing this.
Of course.
Okay. So are you from Ottawa originally?
Yeah, born and raised here. My family, I moved around a lot. We never stayed in one spot for different reasons. I'm currently been situated in this area for about 5 years now. I see bigger and better things for my life than living in an apartment building, but it is what it is for now. So.
Well, I don't know. I mean, living in an apartment building, you're already doing better than 99% of the world.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. The thing is people, everybody wants a house. Like I actually posted it on my Instagram story a couple of days ago, like, what would you do with $1 billion? Because I'm going to make $1 billion soon. and they're like, oh, a lot of people said I would get a house. That was their first thing. But, you don't necessarily need a house. A lot of people get rid of their houses because it's like too much maintenance or whatever. Apartment gives you freedom. And I don't know, maybe it's different as you get older or you've got a kid, so maybe that's different. But I feel like, I like being out. I want to be in coffee shops and in parks. I'm not going to sit at home all the time anyways. It doesn't really matter where you live. But yeah, it's very, very cool. And your area, we were just saying, is a bit colorful.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, there's a beer store behind us, and
I
so,
don't know if they can see.
you can't see it, but it's there. And then there's a lot of Well, there's some clinics for drug users where they have syringe boxes outside, and so yeah, lots going on here. But I love the culture. It's interesting. I want to start meeting and talking to everybody in the street. Actually, I met up with this girl who's a model like in the fall last year, and we were standing in the market and filmed a little video with I think a homeless guy. He was just coming up with his cart, and he's like, interview me. And I think, what do you call himself? Tarzan or Elvis? Or Tarzan Elvis? It was something like that. And so I still have to post.
Call him Telvis.
Telvis.
Tarzan and Elvis together.
Yeah, I like that. That could be his couple name for himself.
Exactly.
Or Elvan.
Elvan.
Oh, Elvan. That'd be good too. That's kind of like Elvin, like an elf.
Or Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. I had a friend in high school who came, he was like, I guess an exchange student or something from Hong Kong, and his name was Alvin Chung. And so every time the teacher would say Alvin or something, I would go, Alvin! Because that's in Alvin and the Chipmunks, the dad or whatever is always yelling, Alvin! But he had no idea what we're talking about. And I think my friend Peter at one point said, can you imagine how he feels? Like somebody screaming his name, Alvin, every time and having no idea why or what's going on.
Yeah.
So I feel a bit bad now. I should try to look him up on LinkedIn or something and
just
explain why that happened.
When was that? That was a long time ago.
That was about 35 years ago.
Oh, he probably doesn't remember now.
No, he's probably fine. Or maybe it's I remember very clearly. So
maybe it's traumatized him.
Yeah, it might be pretty bad. And I feel bad because my friend Peter, the guy I was talking about, he was my friend, and I call him. He was very into films and very smart and all that. And we would make films together. He had a video camera, and we'd make videos of me being like a zombie or like Jim Morrison or something. And one time I called him a nerd or something. I said, you're a nerd or whatever. And he hated me for it. I'm like, but you are. I mean, he looked, he had glasses. He was always studying. I was a nerd too, whatever. But he never forgave me. And for years he didn't talk to me. And I think he told me years later. So now it turns out, I met his wife once that he met, I don't know if he met her at the art store, but she was working at the art store on Bank Street. And she was gorgeous. I'm like, well, how did Peter get this girl? Oh my God. And he's got like 5 kids or something, a big house in the country and everything. And I've got nothing. And so I guess he got his revenge on me. Who's the nerd now? Yeah.
Get a dog and then you'll have something.
I know. I was thinking, my mom keeps saying, get a dog. But I wonder if that's because she wants a dog. And I always wanted a dog. Even when I was 12, I went to the library and I got all these dog books and how to train a dog and how you name a dog. And then the library let me take every dog, they had a magazine called Dog Magazine. They let me take all the back issues. I had hundreds of them. And my dad's like, no, I'm allergic. So I did all this research. And one book of breeds said you could get either a poodle are okay for allergies or a Mexican hairless Chihuahua.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, which kind of looked like you could imagine. And then my dad's like, no, we're not getting it. And they got me a couple of guinea pigs. And so I would let them run around the house. And then I'd have to clean up all the little poo because they would get so scared and poo everywhere. They probably didn't want to run around the house, but I thought they would want to. And then I think I let them out in the backyard, eat the grass, and I probably tried walking them with a leash at some point.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't know, I wanted one so bad, and then we just moved to Ottawa, and I don't know who we gave them to. We were in Toronto at the time. But now I'm looking back, I'm like, but I wanted a dog so bad, and it's very rare that I've wanted anything so badly, and now I'm like, can I complain? Can I be like, my parents are mean, and I should. But I guess at any point since then, I could have gotten a dog if I wanted.
There's a lot of squirrels for you to choose from around here. Just grab a squirrel and...
Yeah, I guess take it home. Like, why not? Why do you have to go buy a dog? Like, who decided that, or that a guinea pig, you have to go buy a guinea pig? Why can't you have a squirrel?
Exactly. Look, there's one right over there. I'm sure you can call him George or some Robert or something.
Speaking of George, my friend George, who was my old art director, he had a squirrel that sort of became part of the family. Like, I don't know how he started coming into their house every now and then, and he would hide from the meaner squirrels in their house, and he came by all the time, and they really felt like they knew him, but I guess he stopped coming at some point, so they think he might have died or whatever.
Oh, that's sad.
But maybe I can start doing that, just start leaving some food out for the squirrel every morning, and then they'll just come out and see me in the morning. And
leave a little trail like in the...
Ooh, yeah.
What's that thing called?
Like a Hansel and Gretel?
Yeah.
A little bread trail.
Yeah, squirrels. Yeah. Peanut butter.
Yeah, I'll just leave it from the fence to my door, and then every morning they'll be like, hey, we're here.
Knock, knock.
Yeah, why not? Oh, imagine if they're knocking on they probably would. They'd be like, wake up. So at least somebody would be like aware that I'm not up, because nobody cares. I mean, I post my Instagram story every morning, and I can see people look at it, but I don't know, nobody really calls me. But I want to start doing, I did it once, and everybody's like, this is a great idea, you should do it every day. Like, call it a morning check-in, and like have a room on Facebook where people can just come in, and it's like, hey, let's all pump each other up, let's all check, okay, we're all still alive, let's do this, because not everybody has a husband to roll over to.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a kid or whatever.
Or a dog, or a squirrel.
Or a squirrel. Exactly. Not everybody's as blessed as me to have a squirrel. So you were traveling around Ottawa with your family.
Yep.
And Now you're 29, and you've got a daughter. Is that a secret, or can we talk about that?
Oh, we can. We won't get into too much detail.
No,
about
we don't
her,
need to
but
talk about it. We can just say it because it's a thing. That's cool.
She's 7.
She's 7. I wish I had a kid. That's very cute.
No, you don't. Just kidding. Whoever's watching kids are awesome, but they're hard.
Oh, it's Mother's Day tomorrow. Is she going to do anything for you?
She's with her dad right now, so I don't know if she should be with me tomorrow, but I have no idea.
Well, maybe that's what she'll do for you, by not be around.
That'd be nice. Sorry.
Mom
I love her.
Yeah.
I'm always with her, so
yeah,
it's nice to have a break once in a while.
No, for sure. And then, have you always known you wanted to do acting?
So I know for the last, like I said, over 10 years I've been pursuing it, and I've been part of projects and really trying to get my name out there kind of thing, and my website and all that. But
yeah, so what's on your website?
So on my website, I have my biography about myself. I have, my age, whatnot. I have links to, stuff I've done. There's headshots on there. There's just general stuff about me. And there's different buttons you can click, and it goes to different parts of the website.
Fun.
And then, there's at the last page, there's a contact me with my information on it. So.
That's good, because I've got a website. I've just got this crappy WordPress blog, and I was even thinking of taking it down or something, because I get all the spam from the contact page, and it's just useless. It's like, and that's what I'm directing people to for my portfolio and stuff. So it's good to have a website with actual, it looks decent, it works, and people can actually find out about you.
Yeah,
that's a good idea, especially because Facebook or social media can take you down at any time. So you don't want to have all your eggs in a basket like that. You want to be able to control your own website. Okay, so you're doing that, and do you do the YouTubing or like any of your own social media stuff, like TikTok? Or you were saying you don't like to make stuff on your own? No,
so I do make my own monologues. I do post monologues on. I do use TikTok a lot for. I used to use TikTok for my own stuff, but now I've been using it for my monologues and whatnot. And I do have a YouTube. I post for my acting on my YouTube. Don't really have many followers right now. I have like maybe 7, but yeah, I post my monologues. I do a lot of my own monologues on my own, and I find a lot of people like my acting. They're like, oh, you're really good, da da da. So and they're like, why aren't you seen yet? I'm like, I don't know, I'm just not seen yet. And so I do that. I'm also part of an acting website, so I audition. I send myself for auditions and went on there. And I'm on a few websites for acting, that kind of thing.
I was thinking for my show, like my like this show that we're on right now, maybe it should be like I'm talking to people, but then they give us tips and stuff for people who might want to do that, and then it's like an educational, helpful show. So are any of these websites that you recommend, like the acting websites with auditions and such? Yeah,
so the one specific one I'm on is called backstage.com, I believe.
I think I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I try to venture outside of Ottawa, audition outside to like the States or Montreal or whatnot, because Ottawa's not really big and that kind of stuff.
Not a lot going on here, no.
Which they should. I find Ottawa's really pretty, and they could definitely use it for movies and nice TV stuff, but unfortunately, that's not the place to be.
No,
so.
Although, I mean, there's not much. I think they've been shooting some Hallmark movies and stuff around here.
Really?
And I think Mel Gibson was here a couple of years ago shooting Fat Santa or something.
Yeah, he was in the Quebec.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I decided like in December, in the deep of winter, I was like, I'm kind of bored, and I signed up with some background agencies in Toronto, but I never went to anything. So I was like, that's a waste of time, sit there all day. But now I'm like, I would kill to do anything. So I decided to email a couple agencies because I'm an ACTRA member. So I was like, maybe that's got some, value here because there's not as many in Ottawa. So I just emailed, I said, hey, would you ever need an ACTRA member for like extra work or anything? And a woman got back, so right away she's like, yes. So do you want to be a cop in a movie on Friday? I'm like, okay. So I went and got some clothes for it, and I was in some kind of Lifetime movie or something. Just walking around, it was like a little adventure. I got some free food. I met all these nice people. So I mean, if anybody wants to try something like that, just do it. Email your local talent agency and say you're available, and at least it's a little bit of money and kind of a fun thing to do, and a little adventure you can talk about in your YouTube videos or whatever.
Yeah, I've done the background stuff before. I have done that. I was part of Smythe Casting for a bit.
Oh yeah, they're famous.
And I've been in some movies. You don't really see me because it's background.
Yeah. Like that kind of thing's not gonna build your career, but it's a fun activity, and
for me, it's a career building thing, right? It's what I want.
Yeah, and you're meeting other actors, which is cool. You can be like, hey, let's make a skit together or whatever. Or you never know, you might make friends with the director and be like, hey, look at me. So that's all fun. And then so you're making your own little TikToks. You could do something like a monologue of the day or something, like sort of an exercise for you, and then get your audience sort of used to your stuff and commenting and things. That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
And then you're working on, like, how do you meet local people to work on film projects with and stuff?
So when there's no COVID going on, there's a lot of meet and greets in Ottawa. They have these actor meet and greets, and through my acting coach, I've met, she has connections, whatnot, and just I tend to go on different groups too.
Yeah.
And I'm on
like
Facebook groups and
yeah.
whatnot, and you can reach out to people through there.
Yeah.
It's usually by association. And this kind of thing, it's very big into connections. You need to have connections to build yourself.
Yeah.
You definitely need to know people. It's very hard, especially without an agent. And one thing, since we were talking about tips earlier, what you need to look out for an agent, as soon as they ask for money, run. If they ask for money, it's a scam.
That is true. Yeah, that's always, ever since, I was first looking for agents like 30 years ago. That was always the thing. Like, legit agents, they make money from your gigs, like percentage. But if they're like, oh yeah, it's $1,000. And it's funny how many people I met in Toronto, these girls would be like, can you help me, like, promote me? Because I paid an agent $1,000. Turns out it was a scam. I'm like, oh, so you're willing to pay all these other people $1,000 for nothing, and now you want me to help you for free?
Yeah.
So
No, that's not cool. That's kind of their own fault.
Yeah. But background agencies sometimes charge a fee, like $100 a year or whatever, and I think that's kind of standard. It's a bit different. But for like a principal agency that's going to get you work or whatever, don't get scammed, because there's a lot of people that really want to act, and then it's like, oh yeah, we'll just use our photographer and take our classes, and it's sort of a money-making thing. But I guess for some people, even though it is a scam, if they want to feel like, hey, I'm doing acting, I'm doing stuff, whatever, I guess they can spend their money on it. There's worse scams in the world. But yeah, that is a good tip. You want to be a real actor. And there's
watch out for scams.
Yeah, so that's good, and that you're getting all these projects. And yeah, it is all about connections. Like, so they think of you when they need someone, and they get to know that you're reliable, and all that kind of thing. And that's fun. And I guess these days, if there's stuff you can do on your own, that's good, because anybody can just film with their phone.
Exactly, and you have
so
your own like, editing stuff and.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, when I was young, I was doing a community cable show for a bit, and I'd have to go to the studio and be live, and people would watch it. But now we could be broadcasting live from the park right now if we wanted to be, like, have your own little cable show.
It's starting to rain a little bit.
Yeah, so we won't do this too long here. We don't want to get electrocuted and have the phone ruined. But also, I was thinking on the way here, it's like, this doesn't have to be our last interview. We could do like a daily or a weekly check-in, or just, now that we know we're both creative and want to do stuff, we could just come up with anything.
Cool, I like that.
Little funny skits. I was thinking I want to start writing little scripts now. It could be like 1 minute long, or you could even do something that's kind of recurring characters. It could be like a soap opera. Like, we could come up with a spy story or something and just have little things and then take suggestions from the audience. There's so much you can do to get people involved. Because that way, like when I was writing a screenplay in college and stuff, I found it so difficult. Like, I wound up winning a big award in LA for my first draft of my movie, but I find it hard to sit down alone and work on stuff. But if you can get the audience involved and be like, here's what I'm writing, like, it could be a choose your own adventure even. Like, like the books I used to read as a kid. Okay, Brandi and Josh, they just came across a squirrel. What do you think the squirrel says, or something? And then we act out that. I'm just coming up with stuff on the fly here. That's how creative I am.
Wasn't there a movie called Black something, and basically you chose where you'd go in the movie? It was on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, so there's a series called Black Mirror.
That's it.
Yeah.
Is it Black Mirror?
Yeah, and then, there's 3 or 4 seasons before that, and then like one of the big episodes for season 4 or something. I still haven't seen it, but it was kind of, somehow a choose your own adventure. They shot all these different versions
that was
of
cool.
it and
I liked
stuff.
it.
So that's cool. I should check that out, because I remember when I started watching that, like when I lived in my condo, I watched the first episode while I was sitting in the bath, and then I started watching them while I would run on the treadmill, and I found them all very deeply disturbing. I think about them a lot still. And so I haven't gone back to them lately, but I should go back and watch them. I actually started looking up podcasts, like, to see if anybody was talking about them, and there's a few Black Mirror podcasts.
Yeah.
Listen for a bit, and then I realized, why am I listening to these 2 women talk about this? They don't know anything more than I do. I should be doing my own podcast and rambling on. Every time I sit there wasting time on YouTube watching people talk about Star Wars or politics, I'm like, why am I listening to them?
You're doing your own thing.
Exactly. So that's what we should start doing. Like, maybe we can, because you're interested in acting and entertainment.
Oh, yes.
So maybe we could be like, okay, what's the entertainment news today we're going to talk about, or whatever. There's these 2 guys I listen to in Australia called the Weekly Planet, and they, the one guy just comes in every day and it's like, okay, here's some articles. They're making a new Thor movie. What do you think? And then they joke about it for a while, and then, okay, next news. It's like, this happened. And it's like, it's very entertaining and stuff. So maybe we could do something like that, because why let them get all the glory, right?
They already have all the $1 billion. Like,
exactly.
They're in LA or whatever.
Yeah, they're in Australia. They're
that.
fine.
Australia.
They're fine. So it's Saturday night before Mother's Day. What are you gonna do after this? You were saying a little party?
My cousin's over, and one of my friends he should be there right now, and just something small and have a few drinks and just enjoy the fact that we're still alive and not still alive and breathing
exactly,
kind of thing.
Not the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I keep telling myself.
I don't get morbid, but yeah.
No, it's like
you know what I mean.
I know. I keep thinking like, I keep looking back on, I wish I had the perfect life. I wish I had married my girlfriend when I was 18 and I had like 10 kids now and I'd done a different career. Maybe I'd gone to Hollywood right away. But then I think, it could be worse. Like, you look at Chadwick Boseman, who had everything and was a Marvel superhero, Black Panther and everything, and then just dies of cancer at 42 or whatever, 44.
Yeah.
And it's like, and there was this other guy, I guess at 42 or something, he was a big musical theater guy from Canada, and he was in LA, and then he got COVID and had his leg amputated, and then died. And so, you could have the perfect life and then not have it. So we just got to appreciate this every day and what we've got, and also appreciate the technology. Like when I was much younger, but we didn't have phones that could film us and like broadcast. So like it's not like, I should have been doing TikTok when I was 12. Well, no, there was no internet.
Yeah.
There was nothing. I should have bought a video camera because I don't know why I was relying on Peter's video camera all the time.
Who's Peter? One of your old friends?
Peter was the one I called a nerd.
Oh, right, okay.
He was the one. So he would film. We filmed my grade 13. I don't know what you call it, English project or whatever. I made a comedy sketch show, and it was a bunch of skits, and so we'd film it, and then he would edit it, like on his, how would he edit it? I guess he had to plug in his camera into his VCR, and then like go back and forth and edit. I can't even believe that he did that, because it's just the amount of work. I can barely edit on my phone with the iMovie, and this is too much work,
Yeah.
But that's what it was. And then so we had one VHS tape of my half-hour show, and I brought it to university first year, and I was showing it to my group of female friends and residents. We all gathered around. And I don't remember seeing it after that. Like, I lost the tape. And we never made another copy. But it turns out, this is why I've been trying to reach him for years, also to be friends.
He gets the tape back
Yeah,
too?
well, he's got all the raw footage. Like, he's got still all those backup cam. So when I was briefly dating this girl a couple years ago, and she lives near him in the same small country. And so we went to his house, and that's where I met all his kids. And yeah, he dug out some of these old tapes and plugged them into a camera and was showing me. And here's me at 18, like the background footage. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, thank God I have this. Because kids today now, of course, have footage of everything.
Yeah.
But, if I didn't have that, there would be no recording of my voice and how I looked and how I moved. And I want to have footage like that, because if I'm ever in a Marvel movie and they want to de-age me and they want to make me like young Josh, like they do young Robert Downey Jr., I want like angles so they know what I look like.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and then he was like, yeah, maybe I'll give it to you sometime. And the other stuff with my mom, so I'm still trying to reach him. So I hope he's still around. I remember he was in high school. He was always saying, he didn't really like his name, Peter Mann.
Okay.
But he said he's going to keep his name forever, because when he gets famous, he wants all his high school friends and his teachers to go, oh my God, that's Peter Mann. Like, he wants them to recognize. But now I look back, I'm like, this is pretty much the time. Like, I looked up my grade 8 teacher in the winter, going, oh yeah, whatever happened to Mr. Price? And it looks like he died 12 years ago and stuff.
Really?
So
Oh my gosh.
So you don't know who's still around. But I think there's a York University Zoom call. I hope I didn't miss it. I thought it was coming up. Maybe I missed it. But it was going to be with my old professor that, he's still doing. He's head of this department now. I'm like, oh my God. So, okay, 30 years later, here's the guy. So it makes me happy that they're still around, and maybe I can still impress them and stuff. But I need to try to impress people while people are still around to go, oh yeah, little Josh, he's done well for himself. So if anybody's watching this or listening in Hungary, I don't know, look at me, I'm famous. I don't know. That's my story. All right, so I don't want to keep you out in the rain when you could be partying with your cousin, but thank you for joining me, Brandi.
Thank you.
And I'll put your contact info in the podcast description and in the YouTube description and the Facebook, just all the places. Maybe even this could be an Instagram TV post.
That'd be really cool.
I think it'll fit. Oh my God, you're going to be so famous you won't know what to do with yourself. And that's it. And hopefully we'll do regular videos. Maybe we can come to the park every day. It's a nice place to record.
And see your squirrel buddies again.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine? Maybe I'll bring nuts the next time, and they can come join us on the table and
just like piece of bread with peanut butter on it.
Oh, I see. I would come running for a piece of bread with peanut butter. So.
Put candles on it too. Happy birthday, squirrels, without burning them. Just like,
oh my gosh.
happy birthday.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I remember I was working on a commercial once, and my friend Lisa, my art director, we were driving in a cab or something, and I just started singing Happy Birthday, and she's like, whose birthday is it, Josh? And it was nobody's birthday. I just felt like singing. I thought, I don't know, it's just a happy song. Like, shouldn't we sing Happy Birthday all the time? Happy Birthday.
I remember a few years ago it was Canada Day, and my friend at the time, we're not friends anymore, we were saying Oh Canada on Canada Day on the bus, and no one sang with us on Canada Day.
Oh yeah, because it's Canada's Day's birthday.
Yeah, and no one joined.
Wow.
It's really sad.
Well, I don't like to get involved with hoodlums on the bus either. It's like, just everybody be quiet. I know you're all obnoxious and whatever.
It's Canada Day.
Yeah.
Like,
But
Canada.
one time, 5 years ago, I was that guy. I was on a streetcar, and I ran for I forget where I was going. I was coming back home, and there was sort of an older couple on there, and I think they were coming back from their daughter's wedding or something, and they were loud and drunk, and then there was sort of a younger woman who looked very cute, and I wanted to talk to her somehow. And there was something they were talking about. I made some joke. I think they were saying something like, I don't know, they haven't had sex for a while or something. There was something that I was able to come in. I'm like, oh, here's my joke. And I said something like, that's my life, or I know how you feel, or something. And they were like, it was just a good joke. And they're like, oh my God. And they all turned around. They were like, ha ha ha, you're so funny. And chatted with them for a bit. And then, so then I think I had enough business cards, when I got off the bus, I'm like, oh, here's my card, follow me on Instagram and stuff. But the whole plan was to give one to that girl, and here's my excuse or whatever.
Yeah.
And I gave it to her, and I got off the streetcar, and like within seconds, before I even crossed the street, I could see that she had texted me or something, and
Well, that was
we
quick.
sort of kept in touch a little bit, and we kept planning to meet. We didn't. She was a Zoosk dancer. A Zouk? Is that the dance? I don't know.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it was some kind of interesting dance that she liked doing, and then I just never met up, and I'm like, I probably should have, because I spend so much time trying to get some girl to talk to me, and then when she finally does, I don't do anything. Like, I've been giving, I'll draw cartoons on receipts, or draw a little cartoon of a waitress on a piece of paper and then leave it for them, and I do that all the time, and, you know, sometimes I'll pose with them and post it on Instagram later, but one time at the keg, like, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, this girl, waitress, after a week, actually, we were walking back from the keg with my friends, and I think it was my friend Angela's birthday, and I was like, the waitress hasn't called yet. I hope she's okay. I hope she's not dead. It was a joke. Like, why would she have called 5 minutes later or at all? But a week later, she messaged me on Facebook. She's like, hey, you gave me the cartoon, said to write, so I figured I should. And I'm like, oh my God, this girl's gorgeous. She seems really funny and nice, and she's an actress. And so we messaged for a bit, and then it just sort of petered out. I never asked her out or whatever. And I'm like, what is wrong with me?
How you do that?
I don't know.
She could have been with you, right?
I know. And this one time, I was at the airport taking someone to the airport for some reason, and on the way back, I was sitting on the bus, and there was this gorgeous blonde girl, like totally, like looked like a model, and somehow I started talking to her, and it turns out she speaks all these different languages and lived in China and plays the violin, like a genius woman, and she actually agreed to meet me for lunch or something at some point. So we met up for lunch, and I remember she asked me something like, oh, what are you looking for in a relationship or whatever? I said, oh, I don't know, I'm afraid to commit. Something stupid like that. And she's like, oh, and you could see her face drop, and that was it. It kind of never recovered, and then she didn't want to see me again. And I'm like, why would I say something like that? I get my dream girl to actually meet me for lunch. Yeah. So I'm trying to convince myself that there's still hope in the world, and maybe next time I won't be such an idiot.
No one's an idiot. We just make mistakes, and we regret them, and we try to fix them again.
You're a very good life coach. All right. See, look at this. Look at all this great free advice you people are getting. You're very lucky. All right, so thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Live Truest, the Live Truest show. Live Truest. We'll call it Live Truest for now.
Live true to yourself.
Yeah. What are my other names possible? Spark was another name, but
Spark. Yeah. Why Spark?
I don't know. I just kind of like the word. I feel like I'm sparking ideas in people and sparking. Okay. I want a word that's one word, one syllable, like pink or sting. I feel like people will mention you more if it's a short word. You know, if you have to go, Ariana Grande, you're less likely to say that. But if you're like, oh, I love the new Pink album, you'll say that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's too long. So I thought spark would be good. And I want something visual, like you could draw it or something. You go, oh yeah, there's the Spark logo, like something like that. Like I don't know what Live would look like. What are the other options? Oh yeah, and Spark.com's taken obviously. But I thought I could be Spark the Genius, because then it's like, it's telling you to do something, Spark the Genius, like do something smart, but also I am Spark the Genius, like Tyler the Creator. So that's an option.
Or like lightning bolts coming out of it or something like that.
Yeah. Spark.
And like maybe like firecrackers or I don't know.
Yeah, or
like
Spot was one I thought of this week, because then I can just put a dot as my logo or something.
Or a dog or something.
Yeah, well, actually, that is what I thought of yesterday. I could just be the dog with a
Dalmatian.
spot on his eye, or a Dalmatian. That's a good idea too. Huh?
I think of Dalmatians from like, you know, the fire people, the
Yeah,
firefighters.
they help the fire departments.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
have the
they
little
do.
Sparky dog, you know?
A Sparky dog, Sparky Spot,
Sparky.
Spot. I don't know. What else do I got? I'll make a list of them. Obviously, none of them are that good if I can't even think of them right now.
I think Spark's pretty cool.
Spark, you like
yeah.
Spark? All right, so we have a new name. Thanks for listening to Spark. I'm Spark the Genius, and this is Brandi the Babe. No, that's
Hey.
sexist and offensive. Brandi the
everything's-
actress.
Everything's offensive these days. It's okay.
All right, good. So, all right, this is not politically correct.
No.
And we're going to be canceled, but that's fine. I didn't want to talk to you people anyways. All right, that's half an hour, so bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.